Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ole Gunnar Kvam. It's the playoffs today, boys and girls, which so far in this save means an episode of disappointment. But at some point, surely we have to win some playoffs in this series. Maybe today's the day. Hello and welcome to part 60 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the playoff semi-final to begin with, and we'll see what happens from there. We face IMG Bradenton Academy, who, as a reminder, have beaten us in the league relatively recently. They're the only team to have beaten us this calendar year, in fact, and it was comfortable. We went to their place and they smashed us 4-1. When we played them earlier in the year, it was 1-1 at home. So they're a team who probably fancy themselves to be better than we are. We did finish above them in the league, though. If we have a look at the league table, we finished 4th. They finished 5th. But they've then been able to get their momentum up and running with a victory over Boston in the quarterfinal, which, of course, we didn't have to play in. Boston are another team who've been a problem for us recently. Not being able to pick up a victory, only going there and picking up the draw is one of the reasons why we ended up in the playoffs in the first place. So I'm not feeling massively confident. Interestingly as well, things are set up nicely. So if we do make it through to the final, we either play our old rivals, the Baltimore Christos, or yet another Charlotte team. So there's story there. We just have to make it past IMG Bradenton Academy first. Ridiculously, Hernandez isn't even in the top 3 top scorers. He's only got 22 league goals this year. He has broken the all-time record for goals in the US Open Cup this year. Bearing in mind we only got to the first round, I was baffled. But if we have a look at his record in the US Open Cup, you can see in the second qualifying round he got a hat-trick, and then in the next round he scored 4. The round after that he scored 5 goals, and then once we got into the first round proper he scored again. So 13 goals in the US Open Cup, despite the fact we were knocked out early, did leave him as top scorer in the entire competition. And I think it's kind of artificially made me think everything was going okay with him this year, because he's on 37 goals, but actually he's only scoring a goal every other game now. The relying on him that we used to do is becoming harder and harder because he doesn't score anywhere near as consistently as he once did. He needs to get back into scoring form today against the IMG Bradenton Academy. As ever with these playoffs, it's being played at a neutral venue. We don't have a lot of luck with neutral venues. We're playing at the SAS Soccer Park, which is in Cary, I want to say North Carolina. Is that a state? It doesn't look like any teams actually play there. It's got a capacity of 500, and it's the SAS Soccer Park Field 2. So it feels like we're just playing in a park where the SAS play. Weird place for a neutral venue for a playoff, but then I guess 500 people is plenty, looking at the attendances we get, especially if we've got to travel. Do they get any more? What sort of attendances do this lot get? Even less than we do. 38 people came to see and play Reading United earlier in the year. So we're not going to get anywhere near the 500-person capacity for this game. We're both jokes. Neither of us deserve to get promotion. So this is the team. Webb in goal. A back four of Llewellyn, Ankiel, Brook and Hansen. A midfield of Ryan and Paulus. Fordyce and Huyan out wide. And then Rocha and Hernandez up front. We want a last hurrah for Jorge Hernandez. I have to believe if we go up this year, he's not making that step up again. There's a strong argument he's not really made the step up this year. And he might have a future out wide, but not on the right-hand side, because that's Huyan's territory. So maybe we could push him out onto the left. He is a left footer. I think as our main striker, this is probably the end of the road for Hernandez, whether we go up or not. We're definitely going to have to replace him if we go up. And we probably need to be trying to replace him if we stay in this division, because you saw when we were looking at the top goal scorers before, and Baltimore have got a 45-goal striker. That's a big difference maker. If we had a 45-goal striker this year, we go up automatically. They've managed to have a 45-goal striker and still end up in the playoffs. So we need that kind of player. Huyan with the in-swinger early on, and Jeff Brook, our long-serving captain, our leader. Jeff Brook is in to open the scoring. Of course, it's from a set piece because that's how Jeff Brook scores. It's a 7th goal of the season for him. Huyan with a very, very good free kick. They've made the mistake I go on about all the time in their defence of letting the ball bounce inside their penalty area. I mean, that's inside the 6-yard box. They've let that bounce, and Brook is there for the tap-in. Very easy goal for him. It's 1-0 to Bourne, and the packed out SAS, it's not even half full, SAS Soccer Field 2 is... I mean, they're chanting his name. Rocha now has a chance to release Hernandez. Hernandez is one-on-one with the keeper here. He's kept it on his left foot, and that means he scores. 38 now for the season for Jorge Hernandez. We've seen that all this year. If we can get him on his left foot, he's as good as he's ever been. It's when you ask him to do anything else that he's just lost the ability to hit the target. But that's a lovely pass from Rocha. He's in one-on-one, keeps it left side, and it's a foregone conclusion at that point. We know he's scoring them all day long. 2-0 to us, and we are feeling good about a potential playoff final in our future. It's still 0-0 between Baltimore and Charlotte in the other games. We don't know which one of our previous nemesises we're likely to play, but at the moment, we look like we're booking a spot in that playoff final. Huyan with the cross. Hernandez is lurking in the middle, but couldn't get a header onto it. He's crossing it over himself for Rocha, and his header goes just over. It looks like IMG have filled their end, and we seem to have been given the rest of the ground, which I guess looking at those attendances before, we do have a slightly larger fan base than them, but theirs looks a lot more impressive because they're all packed into that one side of the ground. We say packed in, it's a 500 capacity stadium, so there's probably about 40 people there. It looks like a lot more than 40. I reckon if you paused this and counted everybody who's showing on the animation, there's a lot more than 500 people here. I'm starting to believe that the match engine doesn't generate the exact number of fan animations as it then claims they're in attendance after the match. And quite frankly, I'm horrified by that. Right, we're going to bring on Maswanisi. We are going to not change any of the strikers, and I'm not going to fiddle with anything else. As you know, I don't like to fiddle too much with my team in this save. Llewellyn, did that say Llewellyn had picked up a knock, or was it just doing the normal? He's 1 yellow card away from a suspension. You should probably take him off. How have we let this guy in here? Webb is getting better and better as this season has gone on. When he first was plunged into playing in goal, when Azaguirre, was it him? One of the goalkeepers just walked out on us in January, and we couldn't sign a replacement. And this guy had been on loan since the start of the season, looked rubbish, but slowly but surely has turned into a half-decent goalkeeper as the season has gone on. Right, we are going to try Hernandez on the left-hand side because Fordyce needs to come off. So Stone's going to come on. Hernandez is going to go out onto the left. And then we've got no one else to bring on. We're just going to leave it at that. Fordyce was the first one to say, I'm tired. Plus, he's a key player that we need to save for the final. Someone like Rocha or Huyan, I guess, is someone we need to keep fit. Hernandez has scored again. That's number 39. I am going to take Huyan off now. At 3-0, I think this is job done. Palomares can play out on the right-hand side for the final 10 minutes of the game. I'm fairly confident he's not capable of doing it, but it's more in the interests of preserving Huyan's fitness for the final because we need our best players at their best. So we'll make that change as well. And Charlotte are 1-0 up over Baltimore. So the Baltimore bottle is in full swing. We talked about this over the last few episodes. They look nailed on for automatic promotion, and it looks like they're messing up the playoffs now. So Baltimore going to be having another year knocking around at this level. Can we get up ahead of them? That's the question. Charlotte too will probably look at us and think, we'll probably take a bit of that. But then IMG would have thought the same thing. So we are, we're in a strong position right now. Playoff final in our future. We're not having to play against our long-running rivals. Dare I believe we're finally going to break the playoff curse that has been all over this save since it began. I think this is our 5th or 6th attempt at playoffs now at various levels. We've got a final. Let's just not mess it up, eh? So, playoff final time. Bourne versus Charlotte Independence 2. This time we're playing at the Glen Warner Soccer Facility in Annapolis. I said that wrong last time, apparently, which I think is Maryland, where the cookies are from. We know all about the fact the cookies are definitely from Maryland, or as I was told last time, is it Maryland? Is that what you spoke? Basically, I said both Annapolis and Maryland wrong last time, apparently. Americans are weird. They say things differently to what I say things. That's weird. One change to the team, Marco Antonio coming into the midfield for Paulus. But other than that, it is the same team that has just won really rather comfortably over IMG Bradenton Academy. So Charlotte 2, we hate Charlotte. All the Charlottes. It's the worst. The Charlotte teams are the worst. And I'd like to not be punished by another one so many years after the Charlotte Academy made our lives miserable. We're 90 minutes away from Tier 5, where I believe Tier 5, as the song goes, is where dreams are made, Tier 5. And, oh dear, after all the nice things I said about Webb in the last match, I feel like he either needs to come for that or stay back to make the save. You can't half commit to come to the cross, but then let their striker get there before you. This is poor goalkeeping. Poor indecisive goalkeeping. He comes, he stops, he doesn't know whether he's coming or going. It's all gone a little bit wrong. We're 1-0 down and we now have work to do. But Rocha brings that down beautifully. And I mean, he had the opportunity there to slot it into the path of Hernandez. Instead he's gone for the shot himself, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. If he's going to go for it himself, he's got to do a little bit better than that and at least force the goalkeeper to move from the upright position that he's in to make the save. He's kind of just hit it straight down his throat, but with not enough power to... It'd barely go down his throat. He hit it so softly. 1-0 down still. Quarter of the game gone. We're demanding more already. I need more from these boys. I need them to show that they want to break the playoff curse. The ball forward to Hernandez, who brings it down beautifully. Rocha's in a lot of space here. We need a better shot from him this time. I mean, it is better, in so much as it wasn't straight at the keeper, but he's gone too far the other way. It's one extreme or the other. Hit the corner of the goal. Fordyce now he's in. Can he square it to Hernandez? He's gone for the cross, looking for Rocha, I think. Llewellyn does get the crossover, but there's nobody there to get onto the end of it. And now Ryan needs to cut this counter-attack off in midfield. He's slowed it down. He hasn't exactly cut it off. Antonio now trying to put some pressure on as well. But Charlotte are building through the midfield relatively comfortably and unchallenged at the moment. And somebody needs to take the ball off them, or we're in very real danger of going 2-0 down. And at 2-0 down, I think we do have a problem. But Charlotte knocking it around very, very comfortably. Somebody just kick them. Oh, that's poor again from the goalkeeper. We need a new goalkeeper. We've known that for 6 months. The moment we lost our goalkeeper, we've needed a new goalkeeper. We didn't want to have to rely on Webb, but he kind of made himself not seem rubbish. I even praised him in the last game. But that's poor from him again. Because it's almost straight at him, but he's taken those 2 steps to the left and then dived and still missed it. He just doesn't move. It hits him in the shin and isn't a goal. We need a goal before half-time to give ourselves any hope of getting back into this one. Llewellyn finds Fordyce. Fordyce to Antonio. Hernandez is in here. Hernandez shoots. Huyan's there. And Huyan does grab a goal back before half-time. It's a 14 for the season for him. Bourne 1, Charlotte 2-2. Not 22. They're called Charlotte 2, and they've scored twice. I know, the American lower leagues are confusing, but that's a good effort from Hernandez, and Huyan is lurking. And that gives us that little lifeline, that little glimmer of hope that we need going into this second half. And now it just comes down to who wants it more. Have we got enough left in the tank to go and grab ourselves another goal or two and to secure ourselves a promotion and almost arguably more importantly, break the playoff curse on this save that is making me very sad. I hate the fact that we keep losing in the playoffs, especially as a Peterborough fan in real life. I'm so used to doing well in playoffs when we play in them. But in this save, we're rubbish. And it took 37 seconds for all of Huyan's heroics to be wiped out by a third goal for Charlotte. And I think that probably settles things. And you got to look at Webb again and wonder if he knows he's allowed to use his hands. Do you reckon he knows he's allowed to use his hands? Oh, dear. We're demanding more. Stephen Stone's going to come on in a minute, but I mean, it feels like we've already, there must be at least 3 under 21 players in the playing 11. Oh, good. Right, Solis will have to come on as well then. So Solis for Llewellyn and then Stone for Rocha. And demand more once more. And see if this can give us the breakthrough. Brook to Stone. Stone's got Hernandez ahead of him, who's pulled out left to give himself a little bit of space. This is a Hernandez goal moment. And I mean, that sentence got away from me. You know what I meant. They're the positions Hernandez scores from. And he proved me correct because he scored from that position. This is exactly what we want from Hernandez all the time. Get out to the left, keep it on your left foot, shoot across goal. We know how effective he is from there. And there's only one goal in it again. And now we need somebody to score that one goal. Fordyce is shattered. Have we got anyone who's going to come on and make a... I mean, we haven't really got anyone who can make a difference on that left-hand side. No, he's just going to stay on. You're going to have to stay on. It'll be fine. Demand more again. I'm certainly not bringing Beck Nazarov on for him. There's got to be an equaliser in this from somewhere, surely. Come on, boys. Right, 3 minutes to go. We are on the attack. Ball forward, finds nobody, but Brook has got it and plays it out to Huyan. He likes to be a hero. Now's a good opportunity to be a hero again. Ryan, handsome with the cross. Hernandez. Fordyce has hit the post. Why did everything stop? Fordyce must have been offside, but he's hit the post. I don't think it counts anyway, but that was the last chance, and the playoff curse continues. And at least our rivalry with Baltimore gets to continue as well, because both of us, after looking so close to automatic promotion, both of us have bottled the playoffs and let Charlotte 2 in. It's always a Charlotte team, isn't it? Infuriating. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.